Doing in this first, well, going into the second week now of November. Please first get me a card for mind. How is Libra's mind doing? Okay, Eight of Pentacles reversed, so concerned about the future perhaps. 8 is the card of investment. I want to show you the artwork actually. That's a card of investment, building for the future, okay. Working hard, determined, strong, pushing forward, okay. Investing into love, investing into career. With that being reversed, that's quite negative, I'd say. Unless that's a challenge for you at the moment. It's not that you don't want to, it's just a bit challenging right now. Let's get one for your emotions. The Two of Swords reversed. Now that's positive, believe it or not. Some reversals are positive. Oh, sorry, it's the Three of Swords. Well, still positive, reversed. The Three of Swords is heartache, heartbreak. Okay. Yeah, I mean, she has the sword turned onto herself. And the other two swords are laying on the ground. It's coming out of, when it's reversed, it's coming out of that feeling, okay? So you are recovering from, definitely this is the most negative card, you're recovering from this sense of heartbreak, heartache, you know, ending of love or struggling within oneself. Let's get one for your spirituality, intuition and wisdom. We've got the King of Wands in the upright and the Six of Swords reversed. So this is a card of huge power, determination, drive, ambition. When the Six of Swords is upright, it's leaving your troubles in the past. Okay, so perhaps this is a bit of a challenge at the moment, you know, putting certain grudges or difficulties in the past. It's a struggle to do that. For me, like, it feels like this is like fire energy, like Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It feels like you're having to push things forward, like progress, you know, the divine plan. It feels like you feel the need to push it forward because you don't feel like things are moving forward. Does that make sense? Water should flow you know, and you should be having an initial push off with the stick, and then you should be getting away and making progress. But that's reversed, so I feel like, you know, you're really trying to like push forward. But that's interesting because you've got the wand there, and then there's one here being used to push away, but it's like an uphill struggle, isn't it? It's like you're going against the current, the flow, the natural flow. So you might be struggling to keep the faith or understand, you know, which is your divine plan. To trust the natural, you know, order of things, let the divine plan unfold as it needs to. You might be trying to forge a pathway where it's not time yet, okay? Let's get one for your body. The Death card, Scorpio. So that's very positive because it's leaving, it's upright, okay? So it's closing out a cycle. So I think your body's okay. I think your body's good. I don't think you're holding any of this in your physical body. I think your physical health is probably pretty good. You may have recovered from illness. You may be recovering from stress. You know, you're back on the up. I mean, that might have affected your emotions and made them more negative as well. If you're dealing with illness or stress, that's going to affect your emotions. But I think you're confused about, it's interesting because both of these talk about progress, and it's your mind and your trust in the universe. So you are air, energy, being, Libra. You are swords, okay? So you are facts, information, mental activity. Your mental activity is your worst enemy right now. It's causing you to lose faith in the divine plan and the magic of the universe. So say positive mantras like, I want success, I deserve success, and I will have success, okay? I want closure, I deserve closure, and I will have closure. I want love, I deserve love, and I will have love. I trust the universe's divine plan for me, and I'm prepared to let it unfold at the pace that it needs to, okay? You can say, angels, please bring someone into my reality when the time is right who has these qualities. I would like to live here, I would like to live this kind of life, and spell it out, you know? Picture it, fall in love with it, detail it, feel like you're already living it, and speak it, you know, aloud, because your angels and the universe will align these things for you. But we can't control like the pace at which it happens. We can only be clear on what we want as an outcome, but we can't control exactly when it's going to happen. Let me get you some advice. We're all learning lessons in healing, so the chances are you're learning lessons in healing, okay? But it also relies upon many external realities and things too. Like, for instance, if you're calling in a job where, you know, you feel understood and supported and encouraged rather than a workplace expecting you to be perfect straight away, it takes time for those opportunities to open up, because it means somebody else having a baby or somebody else, you know, electing to leave a workplace and then that opportunity coming up. So that could take 3 to 6 months, could take a year. But you've put it out there into the ether, you've put it into the universe and said, like, this is what I, you know, would like. Please provide me with an opportunity like this. and then it takes like a certain timeline for things to be aligned. You know, so it's about being patient. Okay, let me get you one of these first. It's the Seasons of the Witch Beltane Oracle. Really, really nice, profound messages. Yeah, so I'd work on your mind, your mental activity, and learn when to switch that off, okay? But utilise it for good as well. Use that mental activity to reframe and bring in what you do want, and not get stressed about what you don't want, okay? Flower Crown. Wear your power proudly and unapologetically, for it is your birthright and it is eternal like the soul. That's really lovely. Two and one is three, which is a number of personal growth. Wear your power proudly and unapologetically, for it is your birthright and is eternal like the soul. Don't apologise for living your truth, okay? Your authentic dreams, your goals. Stone Circle. In ceremony you conjure a devotion so deeply it reflects thy worship into yourself. You only have to trust your own decisions, your own judgment, your own goals. You know, focus on you, not what society, you know, says is right. Even people closest to you. Let's get you a soul truth. Okay, you've got a few. How can I surrender even more in this moment? Okay. It is essential to have clear, strong intentions of what we desire. Stop. But it's equally important for us to detach from the outcome. It's time to surrender. Let the universe have some breathing room to do its work, okay? That's what I was warning you about, is you can set your intention, but then you've got to surrender it to the universe. You can't keep trying to like push it forward or pull the strings on things. You've got to surrender it then, okay? Let go of the wheel and trust so deeply that your trust turns into gratitude for what you cannot see yet, but you know is coming. That's about having faith that it will actually happen as well, you know. Today's soul action. Know this so deeply that your soul vibrates. You are not alone. Your life has purpose, and the more you surrender, the more God can produce miracles in your life. I surrender. I accept all that I cannot change. I release the outcome, and I joyfully trust the process. It's interesting, isn't it, that Libra, the scales of justice, speaks of like the criminal justice system. We can't just skip to the end and get the outcome. We have to go through, you know, a really kind of organised, methodical process. And it's like you're trying to be the judge, jury and executioner. Where really it's a bit like you need to kind of announce what the charges are and then let the other people all do their roles, and you're trying to do it all yourself. But when we try to overly manage things, it's out of fear that it's not going to happen. When you have faith, you have no reason to fear. Does that make sense? So set your intention, ask the universe, put in your order, okay, in as much detail as you want, visualise it. Be thankful, you know, that this is going to happen for you, and then surrender it, and don't worry about when it's going to happen and like how it's going to happen. Now the other ones you got were, what am I waiting for? Someone else to do it for me. Are you waiting on someone else before you can take the big leap? What if you were to take life into your hands and forge your own unique path? Put your heart into action and ask yourself, what risk can you take to move forward your dreams? Make a decision and do it. No more waiting for others. Do it scared. Take the leap. So you haven't got to do life with another person, and Librans often pine for a partner, okay? And I'm Libra moon, so no judgment there. I love the balance that being in a relationship with another person can bring. But if we pick wrong, you know, or we're unlucky with who we have chosen, we get nothing but imbalance, okay? So the great thing about doing things solo is you create the balance, okay? You are able to manage things, but that requires having faith, okay, in the universe. Like you get focused and you set your intention, what you want, create your goals, say it aloud, ask your angels to help this come into fruition, and then surrender it knowing that it will in good time. And it doesn't have to be, tomorrow. It's not going to be, is it? Because realistically the goals that we're looking at are major life goals. They're the 10 of Pentacles, it's lasting generational wealth, it's the 10 of Cups, 2 dogs and a friendly van, or you and a partner, or, you and a partner and kids. They take a long time to create, and some people stay independent and they have companions that live in their own homes. They don't ever cohabit again, because sometimes we're calling in imbalance and then it's dissatisfying to us. So it's actually okay if you remain fully in your own power and achieve some of these goals or all of these goals solo. They don't have to be achieved with anyone. And often when you're in a relationship, Libra, and I'm Libra moon, so this is me as well, you feel very happy at the beginning and then you become very frustrated because there's an imbalance most of the time. And you're always trying to redress the imbalance, okay, and get things balanced. But it's difficult not to push the other person to make that happen. It would be very interesting to see who a good match for Libra is, to research that and Google it. Because you are an air sign, you're very cerebral and you need a lot of balance and fairness. So you need to look for a sign who's complementary to that. But be clear on what you want, live your life how you like, and it's okay, to achieve your goals solo. It doesn't have to contain another person. Another person might be brought along because you're not responsible for all the lessons, in the human form. You're not necessarily consciously inviting in lessons for yourself. They've been mapped out for you to help your soul reach ascension, to help your soul reach maximum enlightenment. These are like lessons planned out for you that you're not even aware of. So you've got many journeys to take on over the next decade, 2 decades, 3 decades that you're not even aware of, but they're all mapped out for you. So it all is like a complex web, a cosmos of lessons, opportunities, choices, things that will be turned down, things that will be actuated, and it's all in the divine plan. So you can't kind of panic and go, oh my gosh, there's just nothing. It doesn't work like that. There's everything. look up to the stars and know that's the map. It's complex, it's beautiful, and you know, you're not actually the navigator as much as what you think you are. You're definitely not the planner as much as what you think you are. So just, you know, you're welcome to get focused on the things that you want and ask for that and set your intention and put in your order. Then you have to wait for things to come into alignment, okay, as and when the opportunities are being created. In this 3D reality, that can take 3 to 6 months. It can take 6 months to 12 months. We're talking about major life goals. We're not talking about growing our hair out or growing bangs out. Am I communicating my needs? Okay. Your needs matter. What are you needing right now that you haven't communicated? What are you afraid of? Is it possible that what you are fearing is not true? Today's soul action. Journal these answers. What are my needs? Am I saying no and yes enough based on my desires? Am I telling my full truth? Do I believe that my needs matter, and do I share them with others? Do I ask for what I want? When communicating my needs, what do I need in order to feel safe enough to express my needs? So, if you feel very judged by people every time you say, you know, what it is that you want, are you receiving criticism, judgment? Is anyone getting angry or getting upset? Because they're making it about themselves, okay? And if you stop trying to communicate with people because you're worried or fearful about their reaction and having to deal with that, you're being silenced, and you are an air sign. You are swords, you are communication, written communication, verbal communication. So one of your things to work on is activating your solar plexus and your throat chakra, and it's challenging people when they place their own expectations, judgments, opinions on you. You know, do they want you to express your genuine, authentic desires, goals, dreams, or do they want you to say what makes them feel good? Because those are two different things, and that's how you can challenge them and make them, you know, feel a little bit of guilt or take a little bit of accountability, you know, and see things from your point of view. Like, you might flip it around and say, you know, I have opinions on how all of you live your life, but I'm not expressing that to you because you would be hurt, you know. We have very different ideas about you know, what goals people should have. We have very different goals, and that's fine. But I want you to know that that's fine and tell me that that's fine. I want you to tell me that it's okay that I want to live on a barge, or I want you to tell me that it's okay that I want to be bisexual, or I want you to tell me that it's okay and you will support me in my dreams to become an airline pilot, or I want you to tell me that it's okay that I want to be asexual, you know, and not be involved with anybody for the rest of my life because I don't have the drive to be with another person. I just genuinely don't have that, and I want you to tell me that that's okay and that you'll support me in whatever I want. You have to make other people prove that they are on your side, because if you're feeling like they're not, that is doing damage, and then you're not expressing it. So if you feel like you're not being understood, the worst thing to do is to stop, to stop trying to be understood, because other people don't have to share your viewpoints, and you're not right and they're not wrong, but it goes both ways. They're not right and you're wrong. And a lot of people are very forthright, especially parents. Very, very forthright, very judgmental. Because I say so, because it's the right way of doing things, because you should. That's a generational curse that was placed on them by their parents. And unfortunately, the world is very transient. The world is much more fluid, connected, globalised, and we have far more movement and ways of being and ways of living than our parents can possibly conceive of. And their parents, don't exist anymore because they just couldn't cope with this amount of change. They're not aware of how the world has changed. And it will be the same when we're older. Our children will be like, you don't understand how I want to live my life. It's not something that's unique to you, Libra. It's something that a whole generation are having to explain and deal with. And people who are quite codependent and don't really leave their hometowns, or they're people pleasers and want to do, things that their parents approve of. They're not having as transient a lifestyle and as alternative a lifestyle. But you kind of have to, if they love you, you have to call them out on their judgment and be like, at the end of the day, we have different goals and that's okay. But I want you, as my parents or parent, to tell me that it's, in order for me to be happy and authentically be happy and fulfilled, that you want me to truly pursue my goals, because I love you and I care about you. I support the things that you're trying to achieve for yourself. I want you to support me and tell me that you approve of the things that I'm trying to achieve for myself, even though they're different goals. It's not about whether you think it's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. I just want to know that you're behind me 100%. And it's the biggest difficulty our generation face, so you're not alone in dealing with that. But I think that it's something you struggle with, Libra, as a sign, is you start to not communicate. If you think, someone's just not saying your point of view, you'll give up communicating your needs, and it's not fair. That isn't fair to you. You'll hold a lot of stress and strain. You'll start to lose faith and get disheartened because, when you feel like you haven't got people supporting you, it puts pressure, makes you doubt yourself, and then you worry, and you think it's not going to happen, or it's not happening fast enough. I need to prove to people that what I did was right, or that what I'm planning is right. I want it now. And you start trying to push it forward. But what you need to do is just get acceptance from the ones that you are worried about who don't agree with your lifestyle. You need to push for acceptance from them and make them understand how important it is to you to be supported. That you are not just fine knowing that they don't agree, because you're a different generation, you have different wants, different desires, different opportunities, and they need to not push their own agenda, because parents want us to be around for them, and they worry about what's going to happen to them. But it doesn't necessarily like mean that they're doing it because it's what's best for you. Sometimes it's, we can all do that, can't we? Like, often what you'll notice as well is that when their parents passed away, they were obviously sad, they were obviously devastated, and you're never the same once your parents passed away, but you are free to kind of like live your life without judgment, without like they started to live their life only once their parents passed on, without judgment and fear of judgment by their parents. If you're still living with fear of judgment, that you stop communicating with your parents when you actually do want their support, that's a problem. It starts making a wedge, and a distance between you. Does that make sense? So they're difficult conversations to have, but they're important conversations to have, and they need to be done calmly as much as that is possible. Don't get angry, don't get uptight, don't lose your temper. Get emotional and show your vulnerability and say it's actually really important to me that you are supportive towards me. I need that from you. Okay, show your vulnerability, don't go angry. I hope this resonates with someone, and I hope it helps. That's all this is ever intended to do. If it doesn't resonate whatsoever, please don't worry about it, okay? This is just current energy, today. This might resonate, sometime in the next week, or it might already be resonating, about your dreams, your goals, your desires, growth and expansion, and how to advocate for yourself with the ones that you love. Forge your path. But if you are not getting acceptance from the people that you love and care about, you are an emotional person, and it is hurtful. And they know what you're talking about because they have lived that with their parents. Does that make sense? So say to them, when your parents, were alive, you lived with their judgment, and they would have pushed their expectations onto you. And now that they're not here, you have a kind of freedom to live your life the way that you want without fearing their judgment. I'm fearing your judgment, and I shouldn't be doing that. I am a different person to you, and I want to live my life knowing you're happy with the choices that I'm making. It's important to me. I need that from you. And then just sit there and wait for them to reply. Does that make sense? Alright, I'm going to sometimes you can be, one more thing, you can be strategic about it, and you can just be really innocent the way you're kind of asking about them and what were your dreams and what were your desires, and did you ever want to do something different to what and get them talking about it so they can get into your shoes and get into that frame of mind. Activate those emotions in them, that they were once not fulfilling their dreams because their parents urged them not, they didn't think it was a good career choice, or they didn't think it was a lifestyle people would agree with. How did that make you feel, Mum? How did that make you feel, Dad? Do it in a supportive, caring way. You're there for them while they're talking about it, but then it might activate some emotions where they go, I want you to live your life the way you want to. I don't want you to fear judgment. And obviously that's going to work with some people and not with others. But then you have to kind of question, you know, whether it's worth ever explaining yourself to them. You have to just forgive people then, for just not being on the same wavelength, and, you know, have even more faith in the universe, have even more faith in your own dreams, goals, wants, desires, that they are right, and you don't have to explain them to anyone else. You know, you have tried, you don't have to keep trying. If it's what you need to be sane and to be enjoying your life authentically and to the fullest, then you don't need to apologise for it. I'm not saying don't be there for people as they get older, because it's important to do that, but they can't use you as a comfort blanket. Do you know what I mean? You can say, like, you're so important to me and I fully intend to, like, be there for you, and, you know, I will be around, but I need to also do the things that make me feel like, you know, I need to follow my goals and my dreams as well as be there for you. I can't forsake what I want without getting, you know, resentful. And I'm sure you will have felt that about your parents at some point. There was things you wanted to do and they, you know, discouraged you from doing it. And maybe you've got regrets about that. They're difficult conversations to have, but I promise you it's a lot of people dealing with that. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, please give it a like and support the channel, and I'll